surely this can't just be me in this situation ahead of FPL Gameweek 23, considering what I'm going to be doing with my assistant manager chip, maybe going for David Moyes, maybe going for Arne slot, or going for a triple up on Liverpool, and maybe not even using my assistant manager chip at all. There's a lot of questions to be answered in this video. There's a lot to talk through in this video. If you're an FPL fan and you're not following this page and you're not subscribed, do hit subscribe down below. It'd be very much appreciated. And do drop a like while you're down there as well. So let's start off by talking about my current team situation. We have 2 players left to play around 42 points this game week. It's an absolute shocking game. We've had a red arrow and we're down to 180k from 170k. Not an ideal week. My first red arrow probably since game week 12, that is. So not ideal, but we do still have 2 players to play. We have Cole Palmer, who I'm hoping misses out because I've got Anthony Robinson sat first on my bench. And then we also have Nicholas Jackson, who is still yet to play, of course, as well tonight against Wolves at the time of recording this video. So I'm hoping if Cole Palmer doesn't play and he is injured, he's out the game. Nicholas Jackson also then plays and scores and Robinson comes in off the bench. I'll have a pretty nice green arrow and I'll probably be sat in like 140k. So we can hope, but I don't think that'll be the case. And looking ahead into next week, the side is currently looking like this. We have 4 free transfers. We're sat in a nice position with the transfers, but the question mark is, what do I actually do with the transfers? Now, one player that's pretty much guaranteed to be leaving my team is Nicholas Jackson. If he scores whatever he does tonight, even if he scores a hat-trick, he will probably be leaving my side. He's either going to be going to a potential replacement in Cody Gakpo or John Philip Mateta, if we go for Arne slot, as we'll talk about in a bit. Or we might even go down to maybe like a joao wissa, as Brentford's fixtures do turn this week as well. Another player who could be on the chopping board is Diallo. I want to get Anthony Gordon in, and to be fair, that's a decent way to maybe for me to get Anthony Gordon in is by getting rid of Ahmad. I don't really want to get rid of mbuemo, and I don't really want to get rid of Morgan Rogers as well. So Ahmad will be the player to go, or do I just ignore Anthony Gordon and risk it again without him? I'm not too sure, because it's going to be hard for me to get to Gordon, because I've got to get 2 million up from Ahmad to Gordon. So that means that I would have to downgrade Nicholas Jackson. And then I've also got Trent Alexander at the back, who I could maybe downgrade to a Canate, but Trent's got that attacking potential. He showed that this weekend with an assist in the game against Brentford. So I don't know where to get rid of Trent now. There's a lot of questions to be asked, but the initial transfers that I'm thinking is Nicholas Jackson will be leaving this team no matter what. And potentially a defensive change. Anthony Robinson's fixtures do turn now. I mean, United isn't even a bad fixture, to be honest, but Fulham's fixtures beyond that aren't the best. So it could potentially be an Anthony Robinson to Lewis Hall, and then starting Lewis Hall at the back, who's playing against Southampton. But Southampton have put goals now past Nottingham Forest and United in the last 2 matches. And since the new managers come in, they've still been bad, but they've at least managed to do a little bit better, and they've looked a little bit more competitive in games. So yeah, currently looking at the double game week, we currently have Jordan Pickford ahead of the Everton double game week, who I'm quite happy to have. Everton did well at the weekend, but a shame Pickford kind of made... He didn't really make catastrophic errors, but he definitely could have done better on both of the goals, in my opinion, that Spurs did score. So frustrating that he didn't get the clean sheet. It would have been nice. I was on a green arrow if Pickford did have that clean sheet. Then, of course, for Liverpool, we have Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's got the double game week in 24. And then we have Mo Salah. So as I said, the question is, do we just go a straight swap, Jackson to Cody Gakpo? For me, I do think the best 3 Liverpool players for the double game week is Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course, Mo Salah, and I think it's Cody Gakpo as a 3rd best option, in my opinion. But obviously, people might think different. People might think differently. Maybe want to go for a double Liverpool defence, or they might also want to maybe go for a Luis Diaz or someone, which is fair enough. But in my opinion, Cody Gakpo is the only real 3rd Liverpool asset that I am looking at. And from an Everton perspective, I've already got Jordan Pickford. Maybe a Mikalenko. I could maybe do like a Greaves to a Mikalenko of the 0.4 million, and again just really hit it hard on that double game week. That's a potential thing that we might cross next week, because I am going to have a lot of transfers chances. As I say, if I only do 1 transfer this week, which is quite likely, it might just be Jackson across to a Mateta, Gakpo, whatever. And then I'm not really too sure what to do with the other moves, to be honest. So I could have a lot of free transfers, like 4 free transfers going into the double game week, where I could really just attack that double game week and absolutely go for it. But one thing that people I feel like are forgetting, because this is something that I haven't really considered, is that we actually need to buy the manager. You know, we actually have to spend some of our budget. We have to keep budget spare to buy this manager. I only saw 1.5 million. To have 1.5 million in the bank is pretty pricey. You know, you've got to be downgrading a few players in your team if you want to be moving to get into or Arne slot as your double game week or as your assistant manager in game week 24 if you want to use that. For my personal team, obviously I've used my triple captain, so assistant managership could be a potential obviously option this week. But looking at David Moyes, he is only 0.5 million, a full 1 million less than Arne slot, which it's quite tempting to go for David Moyes after the performance that Everton put in against Spurs. Looked very good. Obviously, it's Spurs, and right now the way that Spurs are playing is, I mean, you don't even know what to predict with Spurs. But at 0.5 million, it definitely gives you a lot more flexibility in terms of the players in your actual squad. I only thought you're going to have to sacrifice a bit because at 1.5 million, as I say, is quite a hefty price tag. So the question is, what are Everton's fixtures ahead of double game week 24 as when you use your assistant manager in game week 24? So Everton do have Leicester at home, which, to be fair, it's a good fixture. Leicester under Ruben Nistelrooy, they started off all right, but they've just gone worse and worse as the weeks have gone on. So Leicester's a very nice, you'd probably say that is one of the best fixtures you can get. Leicester home is really, really good. And as I say, Everton played well last game as well, and hopefully might be able to turn a corner under David Moyes. Liverpool at home, it's a derby. Anything can happen. You never know. There could be an upset. And Liverpool, they just about got past Brentford, scoring 2 late goals. They have dropped a few points in recent weeks. There's obviously drawing to Nottingham Forest, drawing to United. They've dropped points, losing to Liverpool as well. It's not been great. It's not been plain sailing for Liverpool since the turn of the year. So potentially that double game week is a decent option and a decent assistant manager choice of David Moyes. You never know, as I say, you could potentially be able to nick a result against Liverpool, which will be amazing. Obviously, that means that you do get the bonus points because Everton are well below 5 places below Liverpool. So you get big points if there is an upset in that game. Then we have Crystal Palace away in the next game, which they're not 5 places difference. Everton are in 16th and Palace are in like 12th. So you're not going to be able to get in the points difference. But you never know. By then there might be a bigger gap in the table. Who knows? But Palace away is a decent enough fixture. But Palace have been in very good form recently. Looking at Mateta, who's been bagging goals recently. Eze's come back into form, and they're pretty solid at the back as well. Palace are in recent weeks, especially. So again, it's a difficult one. That is. It's beyond that, the other 2 fixtures. And then the other one is against United, which, again, you can see Everton getting a result, to be honest. And you really wouldn't be surprised if Everton picked up a few decent results in this set of fixtures. You just got to hope they score a few goals, maybe keep a clean sheet and get them extra points. And as I say, in that Liverpool game, you do get the extra points if Everton do pick up a result, which is probably unlikely. As for a Liverpool perspective, if I didn't go for a Cody Gakpo in game week 24, game week 23, I didn't transfer him in, then it would be potentially Arne Slot as my manager. Now, you do expect wins from Liverpool in this run of fixtures. You do expect them to beat Bournemouth, even though Bournemouth have been very good in recent weeks. They played amazing against Newcastle. But, you would say that you'd expect Bournemouth to be picking up a result. I mean, if it's Liverpool to be picking up a result against Bournemouth. Everton, I know, as I said before, there could be an upset to Derby. You never know what can happen. But at the end of the day, Liverpool are the best team in the league. There's no doubt about it. So you'd expect them to pick up Everton. The most confident game I'd be of Liverpool picking up a result would be Wolves at home. It's Wolves are catastrophic defensively. You'd expect goals for Liverpool in that game week. So Arne Slot is a great choice as an assistant manager in that. And then Man City, which, I mean, Man City seem to have turned a corner again. They seem to be back on track again, picking up a big win against Ipswich. Obviously, the drop points against Brentford, but they were still 2-0 up in that match. And Brentford have been very good at home. But they have turned a corner. They're starting to pick up results again. They're starting to bring it back. I don't think City will be able to come back and win the league, but they're looking like they're on the right track again after making quite a few January signings, it looks like, as well. And there seems to be a bit more positivity around Man City. So that will be a tough game for Liverpool. And you've got to say, that game will be like almost not a title deciding game in terms of Liverpool, but for Man City, they would have to win that game to have any chance of winning the league, which is already pretty much very, very low. But you never know. If City win the next 3 matches for them, then they play Liverpool in game week 26. It could be a game where there might be something riding on it, and Liverpool might have to get at least a draw out of that game. Man City might go and have to win that game, which definitely makes it interesting. So those are the fixtures there for Arne Slot and David Moyes. So let me know what you're thinking. Right now, I'm really 50-50. I'm going to make my decision later on in the week, because obviously my decision will be made this week on whether I am doing the assistant managership or not, because I need to keep the money spare for Arne Slot. Or if I want to go for Cody Gakpo, I want to get Gakpo in this week ahead of Ipswich. There's no way I'm not going to be bringing in Gakpo. And I've got Jackson against Man City, so I'd want to be having Gakpo and a triple up on Liverpool in this week against Ipswich. So let me know what you're thinking of doing in the comments. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.